Hi everyone, welcome to another NBA team preview. We're going to New York, talking about the team that occupies Madison Square Garden, the Knickerbockers. And when you talk about the Knickerbockers, you gotta start with Carmelo Anthony, the player they gave up a ton to get in trade from the Denver Nuggets. He is a free agent at the end of the season, and he says he wants to test free agency, so we'll see how that goes. But really, when you look at the rest of the Knicks roster, it's a bunch of names that don't really carry a lot of substance anymore. When you look at Metta World Peace, the former Ron Artest, no longer Defensive Player of the Year, sort of sluggish out there on the court. He takes a lot of bad threes, but he's likely to start at this and take some of the defensive pressure off Anthony, and he'll be the guy they go to cover LeBron James when they meet up. You look at Amare Stoudemire, his knees are pretty much shot. It's a big contract they can't get out of, and it's a question if he can even start basketball games anymore, if he's just better coming off the bench. And that's why they went out and traded for Andrea Bargnani, the former first overall pick from the Raptors. They traded Steve Novak, Quentin Richardson, some draft picks for Bargnani. See if he can rebound his career. Really, the fans got on Bargnani unfairly. He's a very good offensive player. He can block some shots, but he's not a great defender. He's not a great rebounder, but he is a good outside shooter, can stretch the floor, which is good because it's a perfect pairing for a guy like Tyson Chandler, who's really going to be having a season where remember his speech when he won the Defensive Player of the Year? That's what his season's going to be like again. There's going to be a lot of guys getting to the basket that he's going to have to take care of, and that's a perfect compliment for a guy like Bargnani, who's not a big rebounder. That's what they have Tyson Chandler for. But Chandler is turning 32 next year, so we'll have to see how much he's got left in the tank. Look at other guys they've got. Raymond Felton, as long as he doesn't show up fat, it's a decent starting point guard, not a great one. I do like the pick of Tim Hardaway Jr. I think he's a good guy who can play a lot of positions for them off the bench in his first season. Kenyon Martin is a decent guy off the bench. To see how much he has left, if he wants to be a good teammate or not. Paolo Prigioni is a decent backup point guard, the old Italian ball player. Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith are really going to be the scorers off the bench for the Knicks. I'm assuming that they put Shumpert on the bench to start. I figure they're going to start a starting lineup of Chandler, Bargnani, or Stoudemire, and then Artest, Anthony, and Raymond Felton. You look at the rest of the guys in the roster, though, and you're really just hoping for some stuff like Jeremy Tyler. He was once typed as a top high school recruit coming out of high school, but then he left after, I believe it was grade 11 year. I don't even think he stayed around for his grade 12 year. Went pro, went over to Israel, flamed out there, went over to Japan, didn't really do much there. Then was drafted by the Warriors in the second round. Didn't do a lot. I believe he didn't even last his full first season. Spent a lot of time in the D-League. So it'll be interesting to see, at now turning 23 in 2014, how his game develops, if he ever reaches the potential that people saw in him as a high school junior. Overall for the Knicks, I think they're the second best team in the Atlantic Division. I think the Nets are better. But the Knicks are posed to be your 5-6 seed in the East. I think they run and they get eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. I just think this team's counting a lot of old guys that don't have a lot of game left in them. You really don't see a competent player who's going to log big minutes, who is outside of Shumpert. He's your only young guy that's going to be seeing a lot of minutes. Your next youngest guy, though, is J.R. Smith, and he turns 29 next year. So it's a very old team that's not getting any younger, and they just don't have a lot of upside. They sort of maxed out their potential. They're going to have to make some moves if they want to make the playoffs under Mike Woodson. And that's my preview. If they want to make a run in the playoffs under Mike Woodson. And that's my preview for the New York Knicks. Thanks for watching.